Welcome, or welcome back. This is Succulent Tea, coming to you live in Washington State. Today I have for you folks 5 lesser-known but shocking true crime cases. Grab your snacks, drinks, or a full-course meal, and let's get to it. Ever wondered what it would be like to survive alone on a raft in the middle of the sea at the tender age of 11? In 1961, Terry Jo Dupereau faced this dreadful situation. The Dupereau family, filled with excitement, embarked on a dream sailing trip across the Atlantic Ocean. Their journey, however, turned into a horrifying nightmare. Julian Harvey, their hired hand, concealed a sinister past and intentions. One dark night, he committed the unthinkable, murdering Terry Jo's family, and leaving her as the only survivor. The terror of an 11-year-old waking up to this reality is unimaginable. Alone and with no other choice, Terry Jo found herself adrift on a small raft in the vast Atlantic Ocean. Facing such adversity, many would succumb to despair, but not Terry Jo. She displayed exceptional courage and resilience. For 4 grueling days she endured the elements, fighting thirst, hunger, and clung to life with an unyielding spirit. As she fought for survival, the authorities were piecing together the grim puzzle. Through investigations, Harvey's atrocious crime was unveiled, but Terry Jo's fate remained uncertain. Then, in a twist of fate, a Greek freighter spotted a tiny speck on the horizon. Aboard the raft, Terry Jo was discovered, weak but alive. Her miraculous survival sent shockwaves across the globe, her into a beacon of hope and resilience. However, Terry Jo's ordeal was far from over. The trauma of losing her family in a brutal manner was something she had to live with. But she didn't let this tragedy define her. Instead, she used her experience to inspire others, proving that even in the darkest moments, the human spirit can overcome. Terry Jo's story is a chilling reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable horror. Imagine going on a camping trip to Yosemite and never coming back. That's what happened to Teresa Ann Beer in 1987. Teresa Ann Beer, a bubbly 16-year-old girl, vanished without a trace during a trip to Yosemite National Park. She wasn't alone on this trip. She was accompanied by an older man, a local eccentric known as Russell Welch. Despite the age difference and Welch's peculiar reputation, Teresa's family allowed her to go. A decision they would regret forever. The day after they were due back, Welch returned, alone, disheveled, and visibly shaken. He claimed that Teresa had been abducted by Bigfoot, a story that was met with skepticism by both the police and the community. The police launched an extensive search operation in the park, but they found no trace of Teresa. Welch quickly became the prime suspect in her disappearance, but there wasn't enough evidence to charge him. Welch's strange behavior didn't help his case. He refused to cooperate with the police, and at one point he even fled the state, only to be brought back by bounty hunters. As the years passed, several theories about Teresa's disappearance emerged. Some believed Welch's Bigfoot story, while others speculated that Welch had harmed Teresa himself. There was also a theory that Teresa had chosen to disappear, to start a new life away from Fresno. But without any solid evidence, these remained just theories. The case of Teresa Ann Beer is one of those haunting mysteries that continue to baffle investigators. Despite numerous interviews, extensive searches, and countless hours spent sifting through clues and leads, Teresa's fate remains unknown. Her case is a chilling reminder of the mysteries that can lurk in the great outdoors, of how a simple camping trip can turn into a nightmare, and how a young girl's life can be snuffed out without a trace. Teresa's case still haunts the investigators who worked on it, a chilling reminder of the mysteries that can lurk in the great outdoors. What if a serial killer was active for over a decade and you had no idea? That was the reality in Japan from 1975 to 1989. In the quiet, picturesque Saga Prefecture of Japan, a menacing shadow lurked for 14 long years. This was the hunting ground of an elusive predator, a man later known as the Saga Prefecture Strangler. His victims were women, all strangled, their lives brutally cut short. The community was gripped by fear, the safety of their homes shattered by this silent killer. The investigation into these murders was as complex as it was chilling. Police were left with few clues, their only lead the haunting method of murder, strangulation. With every new victim, the pressure to capture the killer mounted. Yet, the Strangler always seemed one step ahead, vanishing into the shadows from whence he came. As the years ticked by, the killer's audacity grew. From 1975 to 1989, 5 women fell prey to his murderous spree. The police, desperate to end the reign of terror, launched an extensive manhunt. They trawled through thousands of files, interviewed countless individuals, but the Strangler remained elusive. Then, in 1989, the breakthrough came. A man was arrested on an unrelated charge, and as the detectives delved into his past, they found a chilling connection. The man was linked to all 5 victims. It was him, the Saga Prefecture Strangler. His reign of terror had finally ended, and the community breathed a sigh of relief. Yet the scars remained. A community forever changed, a sense of innocence lost. The Strangler's capture brought justice, but it also revealed a terrifying truth. For 14 years, a killer had lived amongst them, his monstrous actions hidden beneath a veneer of normalcy. The Saga Prefecture Strangler's reign of terror is a stark reminder of the darkness that can hide in plain sight. Imagine being betrayed by your best friends in the most horrific way possible. That was the reality for Skylar Neese in 2012. In the small community of Star City, West Virginia, 16-year-old Skylar Neese was just like any other teenager. She had dreams, aspirations, and 2 best friends, Rachel Shoaff and Sheila Eddy, who she trusted implicitly. Little did she know her trust was dreadfully misplaced. On a warm summer night in 2012, Skylar snuck out of her house to meet Rachel and Sheila, thinking it was just another girls' night out. However, this was no ordinary rendezvous. The 2 friends had a sinister plan. Armed with kitchen knives, they lured Skylar into a wooded area where they brutally attacked and killed her. As the reality of Skylar's disappearance began to sink in, the community and her family were devastated. The local authorities launched an extensive search, but with no leads or evidence, the case went cold. Meanwhile, Rachel and Sheila played the role of grieving friends, even participating in search efforts and vigils. However, the facade couldn't last forever. 5 months after Skylar's disappearance, Rachel confessed to the murder, leading authorities to Skylar's remains. The motive behind this heinous act was as chilling as the crime itself. They simply didn't want to be friends with Skylar anymore. This shocking revelation sent ripples through the community. The 2 girls who were supposed to be Skylar's closest friends were her murderers. Rachel and Sheila were subsequently tried and convicted, serving sentences that reflect the severity of their crime. The case of Skylar Neese is a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. It's a tragic tale of betrayal, deception, and the unimaginable pain inflicted upon a young girl by those she trusted. Skylar's tragic story is a heartbreaking reminder of the depths of human depravity. What if your father was the leader of a murderous cult? That was the reality for the daughters of Ervil LeBaron. In the mid-20th century, a name that struck fear into the hearts of many was Ervil LeBaron. This man wasn't just a father, but the self-proclaimed prophet of a polygamous Mormon fundamentalist group. He was a man who controlled his followers with an iron fist and a lethal command. Ervil LeBaron didn't just lead a cult, he created a dynasty of terror. His reign wasn't marked by peace and tranquility, but by the blood of his many opponents. Within the boundaries of his religious community, LeBaron's word was law, and that law frequently demanded the ultimate price. The investigation into LeBaron and his cult brought to light a chilling fact. His own daughters were deeply entwined in his crimes. These young women, raised in the shadow of their father's despotic rule, were not just passive witnesses to the horrors that unfolded within their community. Instead, they were active participants, molded by their father's manipulative influence into becoming instruments of his deadly will. As the case unraveled, it became clear that the LeBaron daughters were not merely victims of their father's tyranny. They were also perpetrators carrying out the brutal orders of their father without question. Their hands, though guided by their father's will, were stained with the blood of his enemies. And yet, despite the shocking role they played in their father's crimes, the LeBaron daughters were also victims in their own right. Raised within a culture of fear and obedience, they were trapped in a twisted world where love was equated with obedience, and obedience frequently meant death. The aftermath of the LeBaron case sent shockwaves through society, serving as a grim reminder of the dangers lurking within the shadows of cults. It highlighted the terrifying power of manipulation and the tragic consequences of unchecked authority. The LeBaron case is a horrifying glimpse into the world of cults and the damage they can inflict. These 5 lesser-known cases serve as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. As we delve into the last throes of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the stories we've shared. We began with Terry Jo Duperol, the innocent sea orphan who, in the year 1961, survived a harrowing ordeal at sea, only to return and find her family gone forever. A testament to human resilience, her story is a stark reminder of how quickly a dream vacation can turn into a nightmare. Then we moved on to the baffling case of Teresa Ann Beer, who vanished without a trace in the summer of 1987. Despite exhaustive searches and numerous leads, her whereabouts remain unknown, leaving a void that continues to haunt her loved ones. Our third tale took us across the Pacific to Japan, home of the Wednesday Strangler. Between 1975 and 89, this predator left a trail of unsolved mysteries, forever etching fear into the hearts of Saga Prefecture's residents. We then revisited the tragic betrayal of Skylar Nees in 2012. Betrayed by those she called friends, her death underlines the chilling reality of how trust can be manipulated and used as a weapon of destruction. Finally, we stepped into the dark corridors of the cult world with Ervil LeBaron's legacy. From 1974 to 81, his reign of terror over his own family highlighted the sinister power dynamics within cults and the devastating effect they can have on their members. Each case, unique in its horror, reveals the many faces of crime and the indelible scars it leaves on society. The stories may be different, but the pain, the mystery, and the pursuit of justice remain the same. True crime is a complex and often disturbing world, but it's our hope that by shedding light on these cases, we can bring some measure of understanding and perhaps closure. Thank you all for watching. Please give a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more upcoming content. Succulent Tea, out.